What if your meetings actually got work done for you? Radiant turns every conversation into completed next steps automatically, and right now it's completely free during its beta. You are not going to believe this, so stick around. I'm Pallen, a brand strategist. Today, I'm showing you a new kind of AI assistant. Radiant is a Mac app that listens, understands, and actually acts on what you discuss in meetings. I'm partnering with Radiant for this video, but I'm so excited to show you how it can help you capture meetings, generate next steps, and complete your work at the speed of light. The best part, Radiant is totally free to use while it's in its beta, so now is the time to try it out and see how it fits into your workflow. Let's start with how Radiant captures meetings without bots, without setup, and without interrupting you. Watch this. I'll open my calendar and Radiant recognizes right away what's happening right up in the corner because it's connected directly to my schedule. I'm about to start my production meeting for the week, so I'll wait for my videographer to join. There he is. I love a lot of things about Radiant, but let's start with the first one. Radiant works silently in the background, so you never have to invite a bot to your call. Bots are great until they're not. When calls run back to back, or they run longer than they're supposed to, a bot can miss the meeting or just not show up at all. This has happened to me more times than I can count, and it's very frustrating when I depend on it being there. Because this is Mac software, not browser-based, it's not a bot. It stays tucked neatly in the corner, never distracting, and it never interrupts the call. While your meeting is happening, you can also take notes up here or ask questions from the small widget on your screen. As you can see, I didn't. I was very focused on the conversation. And isn't that kind of the point? Now, watch what happens when it ends. Your full conversation becomes part of a searchable archive that you can reference anytime. So it records, transcribes, and organizes everything. There's no separate setup or commands needed, extra clicks. By the way, if you like keeping your screen tidy, you can also minimize or move that capture window that you saw to wherever it feels less distracting. I like to see mine in the top corner, but remember, this is software, not bound by a browser window. I'm asking questions here about the meeting that I have just to get some clarity, and I can even share these notes with my team or my client by adding their email or copying the link. Genius and so simple. Next, let's talk about what makes Radiant different from other tools. It doesn't stop at notes, it actually finishes your follow-up work. After your meeting, Radiant suggests clear next steps based on what was actually discussed here. Every action item from our production meeting shows up instantly: shooting 6 videos, setting up the room, filming the Firefly Wave video, recording screen clips, and loading a script into the prompter. I mentioned all of these things, but it gets better because Radiant doesn't just remind you of what needs to get done, it actually helps you do it. Let's start with shoot 6 videos plus reels. The little green icon here indicates Radiant's going to create a calendar event so that we don't forget, and so we actually factor this into our schedule. It has the correct title plus the correct day and time inferred from the conversation, and even better, it adds the precise location we talked about. Studio room with sofa, that's what I said. And I didn't have to type any of that. Radiant caught it in the meeting and built a calendar entry that makes sense. One click and it's added to my Google Calendar. Perfect. Now let's try another action. Record screen before camera shots, which is exactly what I do for every video project. Radiant creates a full plan for this, the purpose, a sequence outline, and a list of videos to record. Honestly, this is a plan that I should have written, but I never take the time to create this. And here it is, ready to go, built correctly from the conversation we had. I only had to say things once, and take a look at this. I can even copy the link, share it with my teammates. Think about the value of this when you're documenting SOPs or onboarding new team members. It is spot on. Let's try one more. I'm having so much fun. Drafting a follow-up email. Again, Radiant infers everything from the meeting without asking me to prompt or explain, and it creates a detailed email that's ready to send. In my case, it's a little more formal than maybe how I'd phrase things to my videographer, so I'll open the chat, make a few quick adjustments, might get rid of my last name, and I might shorten his name from Javier to Javi. That's what I call him. Then I click continue in Gmail and Radiant moves the full draft into my email, ready to send. All of this came from a single meeting. I know I said it, but I'm saying it again. I didn't have to write or rewrite or summarize anything. And since Radiant connects with the tools you already use, it fits right into your existing workflow. Radiant integrates seamlessly with the apps you already use every day, so your work doesn't end up in a separate system that you have to remember to check. Here are some ideas on ways to benefit from these integrations. Send updates to your team in Slack with a single click. Instead of rewriting what happened in the meeting, Radiant drafts the update for you and drops it straight into the right channel or message. Generate polished documents or summaries in Google Docs automatically, which is helpful for anything that needs a little more structure, project notes, meeting recaps, planning docs, all done without starting from a blank page. Create new issues or tickets in tools like Linear. If something needs to move into your workflow, Radiant formats it properly so your team can act on it right away. The options feel endless here in a good way. Toggle on the tools that you use and Radiant will start recommending relevant workflows from your conversations. Since Radiant keeps everything where it belongs inside the platforms you already rely on, there's no need to switch tools or copy text back and forth. It's a clean handoff from meeting to execution. Finally, let's look at where everything comes together at your Radiant home screen. Now that you've seen Radiant inside a meeting, here's how everything comes together on the dashboard. At the top, you'll see upcoming meetings pulled straight from your calendar so you always know what's next. Below that are your drafts, the work Radiant has already prepared for you, what we've been working on together. In my case, that includes meeting notes, detailed follow-up for Javi that we did, and the plan for my screen recording that Radiant created automatically. These drafts are ready to review, refine, or send. And then under Ready to Start, Radiant highlights the next steps it inferred from your meeting. These are the tasks you can generate with a single click. Everything is organized in a way that helps you pick up where you left off and focus on the work that matters most. By the way, remember that during beta, all of this is completely free and unlimited to use, no subscription or license needed. Now finally, I want to let you in on a little secret. Radiant includes a feature called Shortcuts, which makes next step work even faster. These appear right after a meeting, and each one helps you turn a conversation into a structured output with almost no effort. You can choose from built-in shortcuts like action items, customer problems, escalation emails, follow-up emails, linear issues, meeting stats, even something fun like a meme. Every shortcut is fully customizable. You can rename it, adjust the prompt, add context, and shape it to match your workflow. You can also decide how often Radiant runs the shortcut, only when you ask on every meeting or automatically. And once you save it, it's instant. Select a shortcut, Radiant applies it in the meeting summary right away. In seconds, you get a polished, structured output that feels like something that you would have written yourself, just without spending the time writing it. Finally, Radiant is featuring people's favorite shortcuts in a campaign that they're calling 12 Days of Shortcuts, so check that out on their Instagram. I'll link to it in the description below. It shows how much this feature resonates with real users. Radiant isn't just another meeting tool, it's an AI personal assistant that does the work for you. I'm so impressed. Helps you capture your meetings, draft your follow-ups, and keeps projects moving all automatically. And right now, Radiant is free to use while it's in its beta, so you can try it out with no limits. Don't wait too long though. Once the beta ends, this may become a paid plan. If you are ready to work at the speed of light, then try Radiant free for Mac. It is linked below, and I know you're gonna love it. I'm Pallen. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.